Hello everyone, this is a little different kind of video for me. It is a response video to Earl Grey Tea's tag, a little RPG tag that seems to be going around in the YouTube RPG community, where we YouTube content providers tell 5 RPG facts about ourselves. First, Earl Grey, thank you so much for the tag and the touching comments on your video. Thank you very much. I watched several other top 5 facts responses after Earl Grey's, PhD&D, WASD20, and A Fistful of Dice, and pretty much everyone that I would tag has already been tagged, except one of the very first people to give me positive feedback on my videos. So, Samwise 7 tag. So without further ado, here are top 5 RPG facts about me, Captcorajus. Number 1, I started playing in 1980 when I was 15 years old. I was introduced to D&D by my lifelong friend OSR Barron, who had lived across the street from me since I was 5 years old. He still plays in my regular D&D game, and I in his. OSR Barron has an outstanding gaming blog called The Dice Are a Lie. Please check it out. His witticisms and observations on RPG culture, products, and my Star campaign are frequently amusing. Number 2, I played D&D when I was in basic training in the Air Force in 1983. Crazy, right? This was rather spontaneous as I did not take any RPG books with me to basic training, but as it turns out, the Frank Menser Red Box set of basic D&D was on sale at the Base Exchange. Several of the guys on my flight were D&D players, and we actually managed to find a few hours to explore some deep, dank caverns and kill some nasties over a few of the long weekends in basic training. So 18 years old, first time away from home, and I managed to find some comrades in arms in D&D. It was really something special. I didn't take that box set with me when I left, but I let it remain on the bookshelf in the day room for the next group of recruits. Number 3, my 16 and 19-year-old daughters now steadily play D&D in my campaign and have been for the last 2 years, although I introduced the game to them at a young age. It's something that they genuinely look forward to each week, and it's amazingly gratifying to sit around the gaming table with my oldest friends and my children to indulge in a hobby that has been a big part of my life for 35 years. Gaming and nerd culture has quickly become a means of bonding with us. They are into anime and comics, and we eagerly look forward to each new Marvel movie, and I frequently find myself revisiting conversations I had with my friends 30 years ago. And yeah, that's Christopher Judge, Teal'c from Stargate SG-1, posing with my kids. Number 4, I have played many RPGs over the years, and I always come back to Dungeons & Dragons. However, I'm also a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan, and once a year, at least for the last 10 years or so, we have a group of old friends that gets together around Halloween for a horror one-shot game. It's an opportunity for those of us who don't get to see each other as often as we would like to, and share some scary times. I try to go all out, dress in dark clothes, and put on some makeup, light some candles, turn the lights down low, turn on a few black lights and creepy music, and scare the hell out of my friends for a few hours. Good times. And number 5, this picture. This photo of myself and the legendary Gary Gygax was taken at Gen Con 2007. It was a rather poignant moment for me. I didn't really wait that long in line to speak with him, but it was obvious that Gary's health was poor. I had to admire his determination to sit there with fans of the game, even though it was obvious he wasn't feeling well. Many folks had brought their original 1E Player's Handbook or DM's Guide for him to sign. It was interesting how each new person generated an original conversation. I found watching each new interaction with a fan to be fascinating and genuine. There was no canned responses from Gary, and some, like mine, were genuinely emotional, as Gary made an effort to find some connection with each person. This was definitely spontaneous, as in the planning of going to Gen Con, I completely disregarded the fact that I might get the opportunity for a sit-down with the legendary Gary Gygax and hadn't brought anything with me for him to sign. So I just asked him to sign my convention pass, which he did. I had to smile as I instantly recognized his signature. I had a PDF copy of Men and Magic, and the signature was almost identical. It was kind of surreal, and I said as much. He laughed, and I shook his hand, gently, my other hand over his, and we met eye to eye. I had agonized for 20 minutes about what I was going to say, and everything sounded stupid or repetitive, and I realized there was nothing I could say to him that he hadn't already heard 1,000 times. So when the moment finally came, I just blurted out, I know you've heard this 1,000 times, but it's true, and it's worth repeating. Thank you for Dungeons & Dragons. It has been more than a game for me. It's greatly influenced my life, and I've even shared it with my children, and they love D&D as well. What really took me by surprise was how touching his response was. There was a genuine warmth, and he invited me to sit down next to him for a photo opportunity, which was taken on my very lame camera phone. There were some jokes told, and as we did so, I don't even remember what he said, but we laughed, and the guy in the line behind me snapped his picture, and this was the result. 8 months later, Gary passed away. Well, those are my top 5 RPG facts about myself. Thank you for the tag, Earl Grey Tea, and I hope I didn't bore everyone too much. Coming up, I've got part 3, the rules, on my 4-part How to Play Dungeons & Dragons series. Also, since I've been DMing 5e for a few months now, it's time to do a full review. I've also got some retro reviews coming up of some original D&D modules. So until then, my friends, as always, may your D20 roll true, and game on.